Here we will simplify the cube root of 16 multiplied by y to the 6th power divided by 27y cubed. And the simplification of all of this is going to be 2y multiplied by the cube root of 2 and all of that divided by the number 3. So I start with this, the cube root of 16y to the 6th power divided by 27y to the 3rd power. The first thing that I'm going to simplify is the y's. As you can see, I have a y on the numerator and a y on the denominator. The y on the numerator and in the denominator have different exponents. What I'm going to do is what I call putting them in a battle to the death. Both of these y's go into a battle, so only one will survive. The one that survives is the one with the larger exponent. So the one with the larger exponent is the one in the numerator. So I'm going to end up with a y in the numerator. And the new value of the exponent is the value that it had before, which was 6, minus the value of the y that disappeared, which was 3. So 6 minus 3 becomes the exponent of the only remaining y, which is y cubed, but in the numerator. The one that I have in the denominator is completely unnecessary, but it helps me to show you that the y that I have left is in the numerator and not in the denominator. So you can write it as y cubed divided by 1, or y cubed over 1, or simply say that y to the 6th power divided by y to the 3rd power equals y cubed. So where I had before the y to the 6th power divided by y cubed, I only have now the y cubed but in the numerator. That's the simplification of y to the 6th power divided by y to the 3rd power. It just equals y cubed in the numerator. The next step that I'm going to take is to factor the number 16. 16, I'm going to rewrite it as 8 times 2. That's just factoring. And the 27, I'm going to rewrite it as 3 cubed. 3 times 3 times 3 is 3 cubed, and that equals 27. 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 again is 27. Now, next step that I take is to rewrite the 8 as 2 cubed. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So that is 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 again is 8. So now I have 2 cubed multiplied by 2. I have y cubed, and all of that divided by 3 cubed. The next step, now I have all of this expression inside of a cube root. Okay, all of this is the radicand. And one property of the roots is that if you have a division inside of the radicand, you can rewrite that as the root of the numerator divided by the root of the denominator. First, everything was under the same root. Now, the root applies individually to the numerator and the denominator. Both of these expressions are equal. That is just a property of the roots. And now that I have that, I can proceed to simplify. If I have a number or a variable inside of the root, and that number or variable has an exponent which equals the grade of the root, I can simply take that number outside of the radical sign. Let me show you here. What of these numbers or variables, which one of these numbers or variables can I take outside of the radical sign? Well, if you notice, the number 2 has an exponent 3, and this is a cube root which has a grade 3. So these two can come out of the radical sign. Also, the letter y, the variable y, has an exponent 3, And also here, as I said before, the cube root has a grade 3. So this could be taken out of the radical sign. And in the denominator, the 3 has an exponent 3, which is 3 cubed, and also has a root of grade 3. So let's see what we do with all of that. The first thing that I can take out is the number 2. Remember, 2 cubed is now 2 on the outside of the radical sign. The next thing that I can do is take this y outside of the radical sign. Y cubed inside of the radical sign is simply y without the cube. This is not a cube, this is the grade of the roots. Be careful here. This is 2y multiplied by the cube root of 2. Okay? So now I have taken out the 2, I have taken out the y. Now I go to the denominator. In the denominator, the cube root of 3 cubed simply equals the number 3. So now we are finished. There is nothing more that I can simplify here. I cannot simplify the 2 y's with the number 3, and I cannot do anything with the cube root of the number 2. The cube root of the number 2 is not an integer, and since it is not an integer, I'm just going to keep expressing it as the cube root of the number 2. So in the end, remember, we started with the cube root of the number 16 multiplied by y to the 6th power, and all of that divided by 27y cubed. And all of that simplifies to 2y multiplied by the cube root of the number 2, and all of that divided by 3.